Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So last week I released a video where I was talking about my Empire of Sun style banners and how I was using Magic the Gathering cards for these. So this week I will show you how. I have one of the banners still available that doesn't have a banner yet. And I still want to give him a banner. So as you can see from my cutting mat, I need a banner that's about 2 centimeters high, wide for the part on the left side of the miner here. And I chose this card because I thought it would fit with the guy. As you can see, it's from the Magic art series. It's a Kamigawa Neon Dynasty card. I don't know what any of that means, but that's not really important to me, to be honest. So we saw that we need about 2 centimeters, and then I want the moon to be in the middle of my banner, basically. So I did draw out already 2 spots here where I want to cut it. And the easiest way to cut it is to put your cutting mat to align with the card, and then you can put a measuring anything over it that you can cut along. In this way you can get a nice clean cut. You don't have to cut it in one go, but it is most convenient if you do manage to cut it in one go, to be honest. You will get a bit of a rim on the side, but you can just fix that later with some black paint. Then the other side we're also going to do, so I align my card with the sides. You can see that I have a bit of a white spot here because I tried to record this earlier and then I made the cut and it didn't go as planned. So I did misalign a bit here. But then if you normally do a nice cut, you get something like this, and then, well, by now my knife is already a bit more blunt than at the start, but you can very easily from the back also still cut a bit further. So this, we're also gonna have to scrape this part, but you can always paint it black, as I said earlier. However, this trimming was a bit excessive. Well, I'm just gonna paint it black anyway. So then you have the basic outline of your banner. You can check the size of it if you want. So this is obviously too long. It still has to become a bit shorter because, well, it's longer than the model itself. So I'll just quickly clean up the edge a bit more. And basically at this point, if you do any damage to your banner, it's not that bad because you can still just fix it with paint. So the back side of these banners, for me, it's always going to be black, and I always am going to take banners that are just going to be drop-down banners rather than sideway banners. Because if you take a sideway banners, then you obviously need another banner on the other side to get the same print, or you end up with something that you have to draw yourself. So then it kind of takes away the purpose. So at the top of the banner, I think the moon is in quite a good spot. It's going to be, with the model, it's going to be still maybe a little bit on the low side. However, this is quite convenient to have some excess material on the top of the banner, because in that case you can once again take your measuring thing, and then with the back side of your blade you can go over here once, maybe another time, just to soften up the paper a bit, and you can work your way down the banner a bit. You don't have to do this with a lot of force, you just want to be able to make a bend in this direction, so you can see it a bit better on the camera like this. So I'm really trying to make a bend so that I can follow the curvature of the staff of the banner. So we end up with something like this, and as you can see now, the moon is actually in the right place, and you have the pattern just all the way curving over the top, and you don't really see any of the folds if you do it in this way. Now, well, I'm quite attached to my measuring sheet by now. So at this point I'm just measuring out 3 centimeters from this side to go here, 3 centimeters from the other side to go here, and now basically I have my markings of where I want my banner to go. I think 5 centimeters is about a nice length, and I also, well, With every card it's different, obviously, but this print, I think the nice part ends about here. So I'm just gonna make sure that I can take off this bit here. I'm just basically marking for myself where I want to cut it. So that's there and there. So I just want to cut it along this line more or less. And the beauty here is also that it doesn't matter that much even. Because if you screw up, you can also trim it a little bit more. So I can align it with my grid. Maybe this place is a bit better. And then, well, the mineral of my banner, it's going to be a 2 centimeter banner, so it's at the 1 centimeter line. And I want to cut off 2 centimeters like this in diagonal. And then I'm also going to do that on the other side. And symmetry wise, it doesn't really matter where, if you cut off a bit too much of the middle basically. The only thing you have to be careful about is that this length is going to be equal on both sides, because that difference you will see, whereas your eyes are not perfect enough to see the other one. So that is to say, if you mess up the exact position of your center, it's a bit harder to see than this length. So now we have a nice little banner. It's still perfectly white on the back side, and we have still a bit of an edge. So with the previous banners I didn't have this much of an edge, to be honest. But well, that's nothing that a little bit of black paint can't really fix, even though you can just get rid of some excess paper, obviously. Now you do want to make sure that you have a good hold between the banner and the pole that it's going to go on. In this case, this is the first pole that I'm working with that's a bit wonky, so that doesn't have a universal thickness along the edge. I can quite easily from my print see that the thickness increase starts about here. So what we can do is that we make an extra cut here, and you will see in the final result that this will be like 2 layers like this. But then again, who's going to really care about this? The final thing to make them look a bit more alive rather than just very flat banners is that you can also take the back side of your knife, hold it against the banner and push the banner up against it. Then you obviously you just fold your banner, but it makes for quite a nice windy like pattern if you just do it like 3 times in a row, 2 different directions, because now we have taken like the flatness out of the banner, and you actually have a banner that looks like it could be a real thing. So as you can see on the camera, it's actually quite glossy still. This is why I always cover them up still with some varnish afterwards. Simplest part of the banner is just to attach it to the model. I prefer attaching them to the model before painting, to be honest, because then you have actually a better connection, I think, between the paint and the model, or between the banner and the model, obviously. So just with some super glue, this is very easy, very quick to do, and then we have a banner on the model. It's not fully dry yet, but I just for a video I want to handle it already. So I still want to fold it around a little bit differently in this case. But there you go, basically this is it. You paint the backside black, or any other color that suits your army basically, and then you hit it with some varnish, and that's it, that's done. And then this is the banner after varnishing, so as you can see it's way less glossy than it used to be before. Obviously you can still fold it as much as you want, and with a nice black finish it doesn't distract from the rest of the model. So that's going to be it for this video. Good luck building your banners, and I would really gladly see all kinds of creative banners that people come up with. Thank you, see you the next time.